Let me show you what fusion can do!
What's up, everybody? On today's video, I want to talk about a few channel updates that have been going on, and I also want to talk about a few things minorly that I've been talking about with some games recently. Just to tag on the end of this is mainly probably going to be dedicated to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, so we'll probably have that for the tag in the game and all that stuff. But first and foremost, I wanted to talk about where my videos have been. So people have been reaching out to me on Discord and in the comment section asking where the videos have been, because as you know, I usually do at least one video a week, fully on Saturdays usually, and they haven't been there for about a month. That is mainly an easy question, an easy answer. It's not because anything's wrong or anything like that. If you're watching Yoon-Fam Gaming like during the week, you know that I've been streaming. We are up to episode 35 of Yoon-Fam Gaming on Monday, so I usually stream from Mondays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until around 6 o'clock. And we do this every day. We've already gone through Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 1, Tenkaichi 2, and now we're on Soul Calibur 3. So a lot of my time has been dedicated to that. And combined with the lack of interesting news in the gaming sphere, besides like a few tidbits here and there about like Bleach Rebirth of Souls, there's not really been anything, because we haven't gotten any of the Dragon Ball DLC yet. All the games I have been playing have been out for a while, and there's nothing really interesting to talk about, no upcoming stuff to talk about or speculate on, such as like Tekken 8 and stuff like that. But when it comes basically to what I've been doing, I was running things off of an emulator called PCSX2, and either my computer is not necessarily compatible with it, because I'm playing on a iMac, and it wasn't like necessarily running up to speed, like exactly up to speed, because when I was doing it in nightly mode, if you know anything about that mode, I was getting a lot of frame drops and the speed was dropping to like less than 60%, which was making a lot of the gameplay go through a crawl. And then when I switched to the stable mode, I was having similar problems, but to like less of an effect. But in certain games, it was like really intrusive, like in Soul Calibur 3 especially. It was like almost like a slideshow at point. So I dedicated to myself to just saying, okay, well, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Instead of using and relying on emulators, I went out and I found a backwards compatible PlayStation 3, and but since then we've been playing the games, specifically Soul Calibur 3, because all of these games I have physically anyway. It was just the ease of use to be able to like run them on the emulator. So I hooked up my PS2 to be able to stream with the like Elgato capture card using OBS and whatnot. So we've been doing really well on that. But I did buy a PS3 so that we can also stream PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 3 games, as well as some other stuff. And at some point, I'm thinking about, if I upgrade to the PlayStation 5 Pro, maybe bringing my PS5 in here to use to stream, so that way we have all of the consoles of generations to go through, and we can pretty much stream whatever game we want together. But for now, I thought it'd be better that once we're done this game, we can like choose based on who's voting for what game, PlayStation 1, 2, or 3. So I think that'll be a lot better. Plus, if I have it on an actual console, as opposed to running on an emulator without using some kind of like third-party app for multiplayer or whatnot, I may be able to get the viewers involved, and we can actually do some multiplayer stuff together, some versus, some tournaments, stuff like that, because I'm assuming a lot more people have like a PlayStation 3 or a place like to play online, rather than having like Parsec and like some kind of emulator on whatever the setup they have. So that was just pretty much for ease of use and for stability, because the games are running at like 100% speed, and I just miss playing some of those games. And I thought about this when I was playing Tenkaichi 2. I love Tenkaichi 2, it's probably my favorite Dragon Ball game, but like when I was playing Tenkaichi 2, I'm like, man, how great would it be that if I could stream like Burst Limit or like Raging Blast, stuff like that. So since I have all those games, it was just a lot easier to track down a PlayStation 3, and they're not cheap. And when I got the PlayStation 3, I tested it, everything worked. And I was like, okay, well, now we can play these games physically, so let's try and see how we can work this out. I completely forgot that era, like the PlayStation 3, PSP, and the Xbox 360 were kind of handicapped for streamers when it came to like the HDCP, which is like high definition copyright protection. So they have that like on lock, and I know a lot of people get around it with like component cables, but that wasn't working for me, so I decided to still go with the HDMI. And the way I got around it and figured out how to actually do that was by using a 1 and 2 out splitter with its own power source that had like a natural bypass for it. Not all splitters have a bypass for it. Some are HDCP compatible, which means that like it's gonna keep the HDCP intact regardless whether you hook it up through the Elgato capture card or whatever capture card you're using and your PC. So this worked for me, and this was like 2 months of trial and error trying to get all this stuff done. And I really wanted to focus on not just the streaming aspects, but using everything that YouTube has to offer, because the channel has been growing steadily, and I just wanted to be able to like reach a greater audience, to be honest. So I've been trying to use shorts, and my shorts have been doing not as good now as they were for the first like, I want to say almost a year, but I think it's because they're getting kind of stale. Like I've been playing like, I've been recording Dragon Ball Tenkaichi 2 and 3 on my phone using Aether SX2, and I've been making clips of those, like the story mode and stuff like that, and I think they used to do really, really well, and now they've kind of like trailed off, so I think people are just like tired of seeing the same stuff over and over again, so I'm going to work on doing better shorts in the future. But the streaming is where I wanted to not really focus, because I do want to do these long form videos, but let's be honest, there's like no news that's out for anything, and like my channel is usually based, and true, I could alter it and change it in some way, but then like then I have to plan like what I'm gonna do with that, and I really just want my channel to be something that I like doing, so it doesn't ever feel stale. But there's no new news going on for anything. Obviously we have no news on Soul Calibur 7, Tekken 8 has been quiet. The closest thing we have to news is Street Fighter 6 with like the Mai Shiranui trailer, and I figured everybody already seen that, so there's no point in me uploading and like, you know, talking about that video when it's a character that's already been in a multitude of games, whether it be King of Fighters, Dead or Alive 5, Dead or Alive 6, and whatnot. So I figured I would just leave that alone and enjoy that when it comes out. Street Fighter, yeah, is probably the most going on with stuff, but I think that like there's still room for like speculation and stuff, but I don't know if I really want to get into like talking about Dragon Ball Daima and stuff like that, because other channels usually talk about the anime and stuff, especially like Geekdom and whatnot, and I feel like they take up a lot of the resource when it comes to people that are going to watch what they're going to watch based on who it is. So whether I talk about Daima or not, I don't know if anybody will care, so I could just like do it and put it out there and somebody's going to watch it. But besides that, to make long form video content, like ever since I stopped doing videos on Soul Calibur 6 and potential Soul Calibur 7, there hasn't been a lot to talk about. I was really into Sparking Zero, and I still am, but until the DLC comes out, there's not really much to talk about, because my channel doesn't really get into too much of the gameplay aspect of that, as opposed to, you know, the speculation and what's coming out and, you know, what to look forward to in the future, the news, that kind of stuff. That's just what I enjoy talking about. So basically, all in all, I'm making this video just to let you guys know that like everything is still on track and fine. I've just been doing a lot of like things, and I'm working on upgrading the studio a little bit. I'm trying to get a bigger desk so that it's not as cluttered, and then I can have a dual monitor system set up, because the way that I'm like reading comments and stuff now on the streams is I am doing it on a separate screen, but it's not that big. I want to like get armed so I can turn it to the side and have the whole chat, so I'm not like constantly looking down or over during a stream to like break up that kind of stuff. It's just been a lot getting this streaming stuff set up, but I think now we're at a good place where now, that being said, guys, I'm here, I'm still fine, like everything's going well. I'm just trying to upgrade the channel, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources, and I don't want to make like, you know, content that nobody cares about in the interim to doing that, even though this video, this update video is technically that. But for those of you who actually stayed to the end of the video, I'm going to give you a secret code word to put in the comment section, so that like I know that you watched the entire video and then just skip out and like after a minute of me babbling. And we're going to say, alright, since the new game is coming out and I've been playing around it, it's been pretty good, Marvel Rivals. So just put Marvel Rivals in the comment section and I'll know that you actually made it to the end of the video. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you on Monday. I also do streams with Mark Polton on Primetime Poland on Wednesdays and Sundays, so you can check out his channel and subscribe to that channel so that you can see me there. But we're going to be changing some other stuff. I'm going to be featuring some other guests, some of my comic book buddies, because I'm a comic book artist, if you guys don't know, on some streams and stuff like that. But we're going to do that in the future. We'll talk about that as it comes. But thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys. I hope I see you on Monday's stream, and until then, I'll check you later.
Ivy Valentine subscribes to Mark Yoon. So should you. Enjoy your treat!